Hey, well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Excited to be with you, excited to share the news with you. Look, there's a lot of news shaking out right now, okay? We've got Tucker Carlson called, what's his name? Crenshaw, Eye Patch McCain, okay? It was beautiful. Talking about, the formula shortage that's taking place right now. And so, with that being the case, the formula shortage going on, Dan Crenshaw is trying to say that moms who are concerned about formula are Russian sympathizers. But I really want to talk to you tonight about Pennsylvania because it's huge and everybody's in on this thing right now. Everybody, it's all in. It's pretty wild. We're going to get into that news. Also, there is a grand jury probe into Trump again, right? And they're saying, oh my gosh, it's going to show that Trump use these classified documents for personal profit, okay? This is the same media that's lied to you about everything about Donald Trump, okay? So what's going to happen here is I will already tell you it's going to come to nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, okay? There is no way. Hi, JT. I see you on there. Maybe drop it in the comments or something. But the bottom line is it's going to come to nothing again. Okay, please smash that like as you come in and chat it up with where you are from. So the classified documents from Trump that he can use for personal profit and all this, don't buy it for a second, people. It's not happening. The whole thing's gonna come to nothing again. Okay, and then Twitter's getting exposed in major ways. But real quickly, MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, sent it to a liberal friend so they could get the good sleep that a MyPillow offers. I actually use this travel. I've got a travel pillow I use for a knee pillow too, so that's a little trick you can use. Anyways, good times, folks. It's good to see so many of you on. I see Herb from Southern California. JT from Georgia. Conroe, Texas is on with Aline Carmada. We got another Georgia. Wyoming, great elk hunting state, by the way. Michigan is on. Boy, Michigan actually had one of the largest elk in recent history. I should mention, too, ReviereCoffeeCompany.com. Go get yourself some. It's good coffee. Promo code Lumberjack. It's always promo code Lumberjack. I make this so easy. No matter what you're doing, it's just promo code Lumberjack. It saves you money and supports the show, so thank you. So Elon Musk, by the way, has said that up to 20% of Twitter's accounts he believed could be bots. Now, I've talked about this before. I've shown you pictures of bot farms, and then there's all the trolls and everything out there just trying to disparage and discourage, okay? So just don't buy into it. It's kind of like these articles, oh, we're going to get Trump again, but they never seem to get him because they don't have anything on him. Anyways, let me get into what I really want to get into, though. Out of CNN. Folks, this is good. Okay, so I've seen all the comments on Kathy Barnette. Okay, I've seen the Twitter stuff. I've seen it all. No, do you know? I've seen it all, people. Okay, so you are not going to find a perfect candidate. But I will say this much. I want somebody who is ultra mega. And this gal, you know what they're attacking her for? Being at the Capitol. That's right. Listen to this. And it gets better. Because the left is now freaking out. So first you saw the right was all in, right? The establishment GOP was all in on trying to destroy this gal, okay? And then Trump wanted his nominee, Dr. Oz, to win, and so some of his folks had gone in. But you'll notice Trump's state was much more measured, and he was going to get behind her if she won. Internal polling is showing this gal. I mean, obviously something's going on. Eric 25/6, good to see you on. Internal polling is causing a major freak out right now. Kathy Barnett's going to win this thing tonight. It's going to be awesome. Because here's why it's going to be awesome, people. Just listen, okay? Because, so many people are like, Neil, do you know? And all this stuff. Here, ought to see it. Well, which one should I go with first? I'm going to go to this one. And then I'm going to go back to something else that they're all worried up. Barnette is the one I watched her body language. It seems great. Anyways, so here we go. Surging GOP candidate, this out of CNN, Kathy Barnette has long history of bigoted statements against homosexuals and Muslims. They use gay. Anyway, Surging Pennsylvania GOP Senate candidate Kathy Barnette has a history of anti-Muslim and anti-homosexual statements. In many tweets, Barnette also spread the false conspiracy theory that former President Barack Obama is a Muslim. What is he? I mean, he runs around. I mean, I don't know what Obama is. Maybe he is. I don't know. In one speech uploaded to YouTube in 2015, Barnette forcefully argued it was okay to discriminate against Muslims and compared rejecting Islam to rejecting Hitler's or Stalin's worldviews. In comments on a radio show, she said accepting homosexuality would lead to the accepting of incest and pedophilia. Huh. Sounds like she was prophetic. One post she wrote called a transgender person deformed and demonic. I'm telling you, ultra mega here, folks. This is, you guys, but this is on a CNN. So now CNN is all in on attacking her. And what are they attacking her for? I mean, quite frankly, I might not be like, okay, that's, exactly the same or whatever in here. But I will tell you this. Wahhabi Islam has killed so many people. All the terrorists were from that sect. Okay? That's real. Furthermore, she said accepting, this homosexuality would lead to the accepting of incest and pedophilia. What have you guys seen a push for now? The acceptance of, pedophilia. People, if you don't have a line, well, what do you got? Okay? Smash that like if you would, please. Let's get this out. Barnette's doing great. Anyways, in posts and comments on a radio show, Barnette frequently condemned being transgender. Oh my gosh. Look, there's no condemnation. But that is like sad stuff. Okay? Here's another one. Barnette's quick rise has Republicans reeling over potential upset and what it could mean in November. Republicans are watching conservative candidate Kathy Barnette's sudden rise in their party's upcoming Pennsylvania U.S. Senate primary with a mix of unease, wonder, and dread. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Barnette's late surge in the closely watched contest has turned what was broadly seen as a two-person race between celebrity doctor Mehmet Oz and former hedge fund manager Dave McCormick into a chaotic three-person affair, with Barnette seen as the wild card who has grassroots momentum mere days before Tuesday's contest. The unexpected development has caused even the most influential Republicans to panic. Okay? So, they go on. Okay, so it's good stuff. This is what they're freaking out over there. Check this out. MSNBC targets Kathy Barnette for peacefully attending Trump rally on J6. I feel about J6 the way the left feels about the summer of 2020, Barnette told MSNBC. Okay? Barnette is a black woman from a poor background who is the child of rape. She is opposed to abortion, opposed to war in Ukraine, and attended the rally at the Ellipse. In ensuing protest, in light of MSNBC's reporting, Barnette joked that perhaps MSNBC had not seen a photograph of her before they equated her with white supremacists. They're in on calling a black lady from Pennsylvania a white supremacist. Here, I got to go back to this one. Here, look at this. I'm telling you, people, when the entire establishment, both left and right, is concerned about a candidate, that's the candidate for me. Okay? Seriously. Now, listen to this. Again, CNN. This one's going to be the best. You're going to love this. Pennsylvania primaries encapsulate America's choice in the 2022 midterms. Before the stroke that knocked him off the campaign trail, Senate candidate John Fetterman tossed out a question that defines the Democratic Party's 2022 zeitgeist to a crowd packed, pre-pandemic style, into a rowdy bar. Do we have any Joe Manchins in the room? Fetterman, the Pennsylvania lieutenant governor, said, referring to the moderate West Virginia serving the 50-50 Senate who has strangled liberal dreams in the first 16 months of President Biden's term. No, that keeps the streak alive. So he's going to all these campaign events. I'm not going to be like a Joe Manchin. In other words, I shall have zero common sense, people. Okay. Anyhow, no, that keeps the streak alive, said Fetterman, a hulking hoodie and shorts wearing Democrat rising star, drawing gallows laughs from activists irked at their party's struggles to pass a sweeping social reform agenda and who fear the return of Donald Trump-style extremism. Fetterman was campaigning ahead of Tuesday's Pennsylvania primaries in gritty York, where America's founders celebrated the first Thanksgiving. The city nestles in the vast rural heartland between liberal Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, known by the nickname Pennsyltucky for its staunch conservative leanings. It is a deep red fiefdom where, in Biden's word, his twice-impeached predecessor really is the MAGA king. Republicans in both Senate and gubernatorial primaries are here competing to swear loyalty to Trump, fixated on the democracy-threatening lie that, oh my gosh, they're talking about, I don't think we're supposed to talk about that. I mean, Democrats have sparred over who's the candidate best positioned to preserve the narrow Senate majority, Fetterman or the more moderate Republican Connor Lamb. The Senate seat held by retiring Senator Pat Toomey, one of the traditional Republicans alienated from much of his party by Trump's hostile takeover, may be the best hope for Democrats to flip a GOP seat. Trump's hostile takeover. The 2022 election will place in what Fetterman admitted was a tough cycle for Democrats, with Biden beset by low approval ratings, high inflation, and with Pennsylvania gas prices averaging $4.60 a gallon. People, we are seeing the highest gas prices we have seen ever. It has reached the new peak, okay? Given the personal prestige and election, they use the F word here, lies tossed into a race by Trump for America's democracy itself. And here it goes. Listen to this. Republicans charge toward authoritarianism. The very party that wants to not have, at least the base of the party. I mean, there are some in the party who like authoritarianism. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I want to make that very clear. But this is the very party, right, that is saying, well, we shouldn't lock you down. We shouldn't force you to do things. And now they're saying that this is the left will always tell you what they're going to do, okay, by what they accuse the other person or party of doing, okay? It is like people, right? Anytime somebody goes off on you and says, oh, you're just terrible, you're selfish, you're all these things, I'm telling you, they're holding up a mirror to their very own face. That's what's going on. And that's what the left always does. And when you're dealing with people like that, it's like you're dealing with the left. The unchained Republican fervor is epitomized by gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, a state senator who was outside the U.S. Capitol while the January 6, 2021 insurrection raged. Oh my gosh, this guy went to the Capitol. Oh my word, he exercised his First Amendment rights. On the eve of the primary, Mastriano was on the podcast hosted by Steve Bannon, the former Trump guru awaiting trial for refusing to cooperate with the House's J6 investigation. Mastriano basked in the late endorsement of Trump, who lionized him for fighting against the deceit, corruption, and outright theft of an election Biden won fair and square. I'm reading from CNN here, folks. President Trump is loyal to those that stand for truth, Mastriano said, demonstrating his fealty to a former president trying to turn the midterms into a salve for his wounded loser's ego. These snapshots of the closing stages of the Republican-Democratic primaries do not just encapsulate the powerful forces tugging at each party in Pennsylvania. They explain why the state is a study in microcosm of critical election that could tug the entire country to the right and threaten America's democracy. Again, let me read that last part. This could tug. This is where it gets good, people. This is what they're worried about. They explain why the state is a study in microcosm of a critical election that could tug the entire country to the right and threaten America's democracy again. First off, it's not a democracy, it's a republic. Trump overshadows everything in Pennsylvania as in the rest of America. These midterms, this election will test the strength of Trump's stranglehold over the Republican Party as he gears up for what looks like another White House bid in 2024. His late endorsement of Mastriano looked like an attempt to get behind a possible winner as surging GOP Senate candidate Kathy Barnette threatens the ex-president's celebrity protege, television surgeon Mehmet Oz. MAGA does not belong to President Trump, Barnette declared in a debate, conjuring up a vision of a post-Trump Make America Great Again movement. There is no path to victory in a Republican Party without devotion to Trump's creed. That's why one Republican Senate candidate, David McCormick, a former hedge fund executive who would have once been the epitome of an establishment pro-business Republican, is claiming he's a more faithful steward of Trump's legacy. The problem is Mehmet Oz isn't that popular in Pennsylvania, and he isn't a conservative. America First conservative, and that's why his candidacy hasn't really taken off, McCormick told CNN on Monday. So now McCormick's trying to go all in on this, right? The Pennsylvania race also crystallizes grave national questions about democracy, actually about our constitutional republic, they should say, which remains imperiled. It remains imperiled, people. This is it, right out here. It's right out, they say it right here. The Pennsylvania race also crystallizes grave national concerns about democracy, which remains imperiled by Trump's authoritarian impulses more than a year after his coup attempt. Are you kidding me? Did he ever lock us down? No, he asked for these 2 weeks. I'm sure he was trying to figure things out, okay? Shouldn't have done it in retrospect, but anyways, whatever. Bottom line, though, is he never went all in on federal power, which is what they told us he was all about. He left it up to the states. For example, if Mastriano wins the gubernatorial race in the fall, he would be in charge of running the next presidential election in a swing state that Trump lost in 2020. But, reading from CNN, that he falsely claims he won. Republican grandees in the state, however, have mounted frantic late efforts to block Mastriano and Barnette. Now, they go back to who has a history of anti-gay and anti-Muslim statements, as revealed by CNN's K-File, amid fears they are so extreme they will lose in November. This is it, people. This is what always happens. The Republican Party is filled with cowards, and their strategists suck. This is always the case. Democrats get into power, they use it, and they put in long-term change. Okay? They put in, so yeah, they get defeated in election cycles and everything, but what they put in place, remember when they put in place Obamacare and we couldn't even get rid of that when we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency? Remember that? Because of who? Paul Ryan. By the way, Robin Voss, who's blocking every effort we have going on in Wisconsin, was Paul Ryan's roommate. Just have you know. Anyhow, bottom line of all this is that Republicans don't use, so the Democrats put these policies and things in place, and even if they lose an election cycle, they create new government agencies, all this, and it just perpetuates itself. Republicans never grab the bull by the horn and say, okay, we're getting rid of the Department of Education. We're getting rid of the top 5 layers of the FBI. We're doing this, we're doing that. They never go all in on creating real change. Okay? And then their strategists tell you that, oh my gosh, Trump's going to lose because he's not embracing illegal immigration. Or he's going to lose because he's come out against, abortion. Or, all this stuff. This is what they do all the time. So Republicans never get behind and really get something done. And that's been our great frustration. And that's why when I've got somebody who is just a little bit of a loose cannon, who comes out in full mode, not a politician, saying, hey, I am for this and opposed to this, I like them, okay? So they can say what they want about her. They can try to smear her any way they want. It only makes her more the right choice in my mind, okay? If they win their nominations, Barnette and Mastriano would cement an impression that the Republican Party has turned against democracy itself, which could be a liability among more moderate voters. But it's also, here's why they're fearing people. Get ready, this is good. But it's also possible that the fierce headwinds blowing in Biden's face will prove so insurmountable for Democratic candidates that a red wave could sweep extremist GOP candidates into office anyway. And that's what's going to happen. Okay? The people that they call extremists, I'm not saying they are. That would change the character of the Republican coalition in Washington and further bolster Trump's power. Barnette, for example, warned also on Bannon's podcast Monday that she would oppose Senator Mitch McConnell's leadership of any Republican majority. Man, I'm telling you, people, you don't realize how big of a tool Mitch McConnell is and how much he does behind the scenes to ensure he stays in power. I mean, this is like where the rubber meets the road. Okay? If you are in Pennsylvania, I encourage you, okay? You make your own decision. But if I were there, first off, get out and vote, okay? Otherwise, you're not going to have any claim for anything, okay? Get out there. And I'm telling you, if I were there, I know who I'd be voting for. I'd be voting for Mastriano, and I'd be voting for Barnette. Why? Because the establishment has gone all in against them right now. Like 100% all in against them. Okay? Just weeks before Election Day, another development underscored just how far this election could change Pennsylvania. They're talking about abortion. Pennsylvania, where Republicans control both chambers of the legislature, could introduce draconian restrictions if the GOP wins the governor's mansion, which is currently held by term-limited Governor Tom Wolf. Mastriano, for instance, has compared the fight to abolish abortion with the effort to eradicate the slave trade. God, I'm liking this guy. Abortion rights has meanwhile become the linchpin of the pitch by State Attorney General Josh Shapiro, who is running unopposed for the Democratic gubernatorial nod. Who we elect as our next governor will quite literally decide whether women's reproductive freedoms continue to exist in Pennsylvania, Shapiro said in a statement in April. I've covered this before, people. This is not the issue that they think it is. The majority of Americans, okay, even, so you take all the guys, right? And I know, they say the guys can get pregnant, but they can't. So there's no abortion there. Then you take gals, 30 to 35% have gone through this. And of that percentage that have gone through it, probably about half of them have converted to Christianity, confessed to their sins, and are diametrically opposed to it. It's not the issue that they try to make you believe it is in terms of them being able to win. No, it's not, okay? Abortion is also shaping battles on the other side of the aisle. Barnette's admission in a debate that she was conceived after her mother was raped could endear her to conservatives who believe such assaults should not lead to exceptions in laws. Fight for the Democratic Party's souls. News of Fetterman's strokes followed his absence from campaign events for several days was an 11th-hour bombshell that added drama to a Democratic race that had been relatively tame compared to the expensive GOP slugfest. Fetterman has said he will make a full recovery and is carrying on with his campaign, though he is not expected to appear at his election night party on Tuesday. He tweeted an 8-second video from his hospital room and urged Pennsylvanians to vote. He laid into the Republican Senate field. He blasted out as a weirdo celebrity doctor, saying he and McCormick were two carpetbag Republicans who spent $50 million tearing one another apart. On that note, he is true. Okay? And then Fetterman accepted a progressive mantra that some Democrats blame for hurting the party 2020 congressional campaigns, blah, blah, blah. He goes on. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one right there. I've one other thing I want to get to. So look, that's all I got to say on the whole Barnette thing. Everybody, I know the establishment's all in against her. Hannity, for Pete's sake, says you should not vote for Barnette and you should vote for Oz. That's reason enough for me to vote for Barnette if I was there. I mean, I'm so tired of the establishment telling us who's electable and who's not and all this stuff. That's our decision. It's our decision. And it's our job to get people out then to vote for the candidates we believe in. All right. Out of the Daily Mail, check this out, revealed. BLM founder Patrisse Cullors paid her baby father $970,000 for creative services. Her brother, $840,000 for security. A fellow director, $2.1 million, and reimbursed the organization $73,000 for a charter flight. If this has not been exposed as the biggest fraud perpetrated on the left by themselves, I don't know what else is. It's a fraud, people. Are you serious? 970, 840, 2.1, and then she had to reimburse $73,000 for a charter flight. I'm sure she didn't want to do that. Anyways, real quickly, mypillow.com. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're going to have some fun here as election season approaches. Get your MyPillow. I love these travel MyPillows. Promo code Lumberjack at mypillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack at reverecoffeecompany.com. All the links are in the description. Promo code Lumberjack at neiljohnsonphotos.com. I am a photographer by trade. Go over and check them out. See if you like any of the stuff. And lumberjacklogicshow.com for the best conservative merchandise. Also, really big, we are having tonight a band reunion with a Pennsylvania special. We've got somebody on the ground in Pennsylvania who's been hanging out with Mastriano. We got a lot going on. You got to check it out. You've got to go to lumberjacklogic.locals.com. lumberjacklogic.locals.com. I will get the link up as soon as I get it. I don't have it yet. I think Marcus D is going to be hosting the event. He did get Rumble Live, so go check that out at lumberjacklogic.locals.com. Make sure you're there and you got the notifications turned on. Again, it's just a place I can post everything, and it does not cost you a thing. Yes, you have to register your email, but you had to do that over here, okay? It's wow, Boda Bob, my phone is blowing up with racist crap from the establishment. Are you in Pennsylvania, Boda Bob? I'm guessing so. Georgia governor said, okay, stop using, yeah, exactly, David, a constitutional republic. They always use that. They're always in on that. Early voting continues article. All right, JT's trying to get something to me. Candace Taylor for Georgia governor should have gotten endorsement. Amen. Love locals. Thanks, Shauna D. Yes, good job, Voda. Yeah, they're all in right now on trying to destroy her, and it's all just trope. And vote white. Thanks, Rainmaker. Anyways, I love y'all. Remember, do subscribe, do support the sponsors. They support the show, and they're great. They're great companies, and get some of that great conservative merchandise. All right, I love y'all. Peace out.